Sativa Shakes, plant protein perfected.
Hi, welcome to the Sativa Shakes Sports Performance Series. Today we're going to have a look at the warm-up. Before any sporting activity, it's really important that you warm up to get everything moving, get the blood flowing and make for a better session. So the first thing we always need to do is do some pulse raising exercise. So off we go, 2 laps. So we've just done our 2 laps warm up. Now it's time to do mobility drills. What we're going to do here is stretch dynamically. You always want to do that before exercise. A lot of people hold stretches for 20 or 30 seconds before exercise, and you see people doing this all the time, and that's not going to do you any good. So what you need to be doing is doing dynamic stretches before your activity, and then the static stretches afterwards. So what we're going to do first is help ease off the lower back. A lot of people, when they start doing exercise, have problems with their lower back being really stiff. So we're going to show you 3 or 4 exercises here to help loosen it off so you don't feel it as much when you start exercising. So the first one, we've got our knees bent, feet flat on the floor, arms out in a T, and we're just going to rock from side to side. Then the knees touch the floor on either side. And when you complete about 10 or 12 reps there, lift your legs up and do the same again. So the next progression is to take one leg at a time over to the opposite hand. Now at first you might not get very far in this, you might only get to about this position, but that's fine as long as you feel a stretch and feel it working. So we're going to have arms out in a T, legs nice and straight, and take one foot across the other. Keeping the opposite leg on the floor all the time. So again, once you've completed about 10 or 12 reps, it's time to turn over and we'll do the same on our front. So now we've finished stretching out through the lower back, it's time to do some more mobility drills for the hamstrings. It's really important that you loosen these off before exercise and you'll really feel the benefit of doing these drills. So the first one, you've probably seen people stretch their hamstrings like this in the past, or you may have seen them do it like this. We're going to combine those two into a dynamic movement to help you stretch out and increase your flexibility before exercise. So we're going to roll back into this position and then come down to form. Same on the other side. So you're going to complete that again for about 8 to 10 reps and then go into some scissors. So you're going to support your weight on your arms with your elbows bent here, roll back, support your body weight here, and then just take one leg down at a time. You really feel this around the back of your knees and on the lower part of the hamstrings. When you've done that for about 10 to 12 reps again, you're going to go into some bicycles. So now we've done the hamstrings and the lower back, it's time to move on to the quads and then the hips. So first off for the quads, you've probably seen people stretching like this before. So what we're going to do is turn that into a dynamic movement again by lying face down and one leg at a time, just stretching like this. Okay. So now we've done that for probably about 15 to 20 reps. It's time to move on to the hips. A lot of people have a lot of problems around their hips, so it's important to warm it up fully. So we've got a series of exercises here, which are on all fours. And you're going to start off by taking one leg out to the side, like this. Once you've done about 5 to 6 reps there, you're going to take it in a clockwise direction and then an anti-clockwise direction, like this. Just rotating around. Okay. And then finally what you're going to do is what's called a scorpion, where you're going to bring your knee in and then kick it back. This is all going to help activate all the muscles around the hips. So now we've finished all our mobility stuff, it's time to do a few drills. You've probably seen a lot of athletes doing these. It's really important that they do, but other sportsmen also need to do all these exercises. This is really going to help improve their game. So the first thing we're going to do is a simple high knee walk. You've probably all done these and seen these, but the key points to remember are that the knee lines up with the hip and the knee lines up with the toe as well. Keeping the ankle dorsiflexed at all times, we're just going to walk it through nice and easy. So all these drills need to be done over about 15 to 20 metres. depending on where you're at in your training, you might want to do them 2 or 3 times. You might even want to do a series backwards. But today we'll just stick with 1 set forwards. The next thing you can do is a lunge. Some people like to do walking lunges, but I prefer to do a series of 4 lunges moving in each direction. So we start off just lunging forward, opposite hand to knee, then lunge backwards, go out to this side, and then across the opposite side. And then you get a change, you do it on the other leg. And you're going to run through that 2 or 3 times in each leg. So the next one is just a high knee run through. So everyone's probably again done high knees in the past, and it's important again to make sure the hips nice and high, the knees bent at a 90-degree angle, and the ankle is dorsiflexed at all times. So we're just going to start off on the spot and then start moving forward. So it's here. So when we're doing all these drills, it's really important to use your arms. A lot of people, even athletes, don't use their arms when they're doing a lot of drills, and then that will show in their running technique. You'll see people doing high knees just like this, and then when they run, their arms will do the same thing. So it's really important to get into good habits when you're starting your warm-up. So the next thing is just a basic heel flick. Again, we've probably all done these before, but it's really important to get the turnover when you're doing these. So we're trying to move our legs as fast as we can, not go for distance. So again, we'll start on the spot and then start moving forwards. Remember to use our hands and our arms when we're moving. So it's here. Okay, so following on from that, it's time to do a couple more hamstring exercises. First one is what's called a B-skip. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our knee up into this position again, but this time we're going to kick out and round. So it's like the high knee walk through, but you're kicking through. So it looks like this. Again, it's really important to use the arms there to help support yourself and keep everything moving. The final one for the hamstrings is a straight leg walk through. So again, we're just going to swing from the hip here, take 2 steps in between, and stretch out as far as you can. So now we've done that, it's time to move on to what we call an A-skip. Some people like to do big jumps for height like this, but I find that a lot of people can't handle that, especially if they have problems with their Achilles or their ankles, and sometimes they just end up going more for distance rather than height. So what I prefer to do is an A-skip. So what we do here is a similar motion. We have a skip with a high knee. It looks like this. So once we've done that, it's time to move on to the last one, and these are going to help warm up your calves. So what we're going to do is keep a nice straight knee, try and move our feet as fast as we can. It looks like this. There you have it. There's a few basic drills to go through before any sporting performance, which are going to help you raise your game. Now the last thing we have to do before we get started is a few strides. Moving at about 60 to 70% of our full speed, and we're just going to do them over to about 60 to 80 metres. There you have it, a great warm-up for any sportsman. We've got our pulse raising activity, our mobility work, our drills, and then our strides. It's exactly what you need to prepare yourself for a great training session. So go out there and have fun, and we'll see you next time on the Sativa Shakes Sports Performance Series.
Sativa Shakes, plant protein perfected.